this world does not work on its own. And when we think about it, dear ladies, look at Miriam. Miriam, the sister of Moshe Rabbeinu. Dear ladies, 7 days she was outside the camps, sitting in a tent. Her father spit in her face, and she was all over her. She had leprosy. And why? We don't even consider this Lashon Hara slandering, because she said, I don't understand why Tzipporah, the wife of my brother Moshe, is not with him, because she saw her that she doesn't put any makeup, she doesn't dress nicely for her husband. She asked, what happened? She said, well, my husband now is married to Hashem, to God, so he doesn't have time for me, so I don't do this. And she went to Aaron and she said, but we are also prophets, and I have my husband and you have your wife. And she didn't mean anything bad. She just wanted to make them closer. And Hashem was so angry that he made her all over leprosy. She had to go out of the 3 camps, Machane Shechina, the camp of the Shechina, of where Hashem was, the camp of the Leviah, of the Levites, the camp of the Israelites, to sit outside. One human being. Through all of the millions of the children of Israel, everybody is waiting for her. Everybody knows. Can you think how it's shameful? And this is a great woman. Because of her, we had the water. We had the well of Miriam. Every Motzei Shabbos, I tell you, B'siyata Dishma, to throw the water from Micham and to put new water, because every Motzei Shabbat, the well of Miriam can be in any ocean all over the world. And when we fill in again the Mecham, we say Mibe'era shel Miriam, because we don't know. And when we drink from it, B'zeyada Dishma, we'll have wisdom from the well of Miriam, because the well of Miriam caused wisdom to the children of Israel. It opened all of their minds. So, dear ladies, Miriam, 7 days out of the camps is sitting. After that, we see the meraglim. We see the meraglim. We see the spies. And the spies come and they don't want to go to the land of Israel, because they think that if they will stay in the desert, they won't have to work the land, and they won't have to be with jobs, and they will have plenty of time to study Torah. And then they slander the land of Israel. What did they slander really? They slandered rocks and wood. That's what they slandered. And because of this, the children of Israel, 40 years in the desert, for 40 days that they walked in the land of Israel, God said, 1 day will be equal to a year. And 40 years they walked in the desert because of slandering. Look what's going on today in all of the communications, in the social networks, in the media. Look what's going on today. Shalom edam etzarot. And dear ladies, we can see that because of that, the spies, the 10 spies that slandered the land of Israel, a worm, their tongue became long until the belly button. A worm went out and it killed them in a very strange death. Not only that, every Tisha B'Av, every 9th of Av, all of the men from the age of 20 on, God told them, Moshe Rabbeinu would say, dig a grave for yourself. The men, not the women, because they didn't sin with that sin. They wanted to go to the land of Israel. So they dig the grave from themselves, and they went inside the grave on Tisha B'Av. After Tisha B'Av, there would be a call, a voice that will come and say, all of the life go out. The ones that were still alive will go out of the grave, and then they will cover the ones that died. Every year between 15,000 to 16,000 for slandering the land of Israel. Can you imagine? So can you imagine what happens to a person who slanders another person? That forgets that the essence of God, the livelihood of God is in another human being, and puts this human being down and speaks badly about this human being. It's like he speaks badly, chas v'shalom, about God, about Hashem. Because all of the human beings have the livelihood of Hashem inside them. How do you think we walk and speak? It's the soul that holds the body. It's not the body that holds the soul. Once the soul goes out, the body falls and it goes back to earth. It can't move anymore. You pick a hand of a dead person, it will fall down. It doesn't have any livelihood. You open his eyes, even with a flashlight, he doesn't see anything. You open his mouth, he can't say anything. You put perfume in his nose, he can't smell anything. The body is only a clothing to the soul that is inside. We are the soul inside the body. This is who we are. So, B'siyata Dishma, I'll give you another example. Another example is Yeshayahu Hanavi. Everybody knows he's so righteous, Yeshayahu Hanavi. And there's a big book of Yeshayahu the prophet. So, dear ladies, at chapter 6 in Yeshayahu Hanavi, it says how Hashem made him a prophet. So Hashem comes to him and he sees Hashem, he sees angels. And he sees the angels are saying Kadosh in front of Hashem. And then he says, I am with a mouth that is not clean in people that are not with a clean mouth. Because of that, once Hashem heard this, immediately went an angel to the fireplace and took a coal, I think it calls it becham kaze, coil. So he took it out and put it on his mouth because he sinned about speaking about the children of Israel not in a good way. Instead of finding their merit, he found not the merit of the children of Israel. Just think what happens if we don't speak good about each other. And what happened? How did he fix it at the end? How was it fixed? You remember that Chizkiyahu the king didn't have children and he was very righteous. And Yeshayahu was sent by Hashem to Chizkiyahu the king and he told him, Ata tamut velo tichye, you're going to die and not live, which means you're going to die in this world but not live in the true world. He won't have part in paradise in the true world. And Chizkiyahu the king was righteous. There was no king righteous like Chizkiyahu HaMelech. Why? Because he didn't multiply. He didn't bring children to the world. So he told Yeshayahu, the prophet, he told him, I didn't bring children because I saw that my children are going to worship other gods and cause the children of Israel to worship other gods. That's why I didn't bring children. He says, this is not your concern. It's Hashem's concern. Hashem commanded you to bring children. You have to bring children to the world. So he married the daughter of Yeshayahu the prophet. They became in-laws. And he had 2 sons. And once they were like about 5 years old, they were sitting on his shoulders and he was walking with them. And they were speaking and both of them were speaking about idleness. So he threw them on the floor. One died, one stayed alive. Menasha stayed alive. Avodah Zarah. So Menasha was alive. After Chizkiyahu passed away, Menasha became a king and he worshipped all the gods that all of the people around all over the world. He did everything that Hashem didn't want him to do. Everything. And then he took his grandfather, because Yeshayahu Navi, he was the prophet, he was the grandfather of Menashe. So he took him and he told him, God said that you cannot see me. Lo yireni ish v'chai, which means, ki lo yireni ish v'chai, you can't see me. God says you can't see the divine presence only when you pass away. You know that when we pass away, at the moment that the soul goes out, only then it sees the light of the divine presence. The righteous people see it and the wicked people see it. Why? The righteous in order that they will be escorted to heaven. But the wicked in order to see against whom they rebelled. And then the divine presence goes away from them and Shalom Edah, the destructive angels take the soul. But Bezrat Hashem, that we will all go to a good place, Bezrat Hashem, and do the will of Hashem. So dear ladies, we see that Menashe gets very angry. He says, how can you say that you saw Hashem? And he couldn't explain what he saw to him because he said to himself, the prophet, he was his grandfather. He said, if I will explain to him, I know anyway he's going to kill me. But if I'm going to explain to him, he will kill me on purpose. And if I won't explain to him, that he didn't understand, he didn't mean it, the punishment won't be the same for him in the true world. Look how he thought about the next world. So he said the name of Hashem and he went and he was observed into a tree. the prophet, Yeshayahu the prophet. But part of his tzitzit, some of our sages say that part of the kanaf, the string of the tzitzit went out. So Menasha, the king, called his soldiers and told them to take a saw. And they started cutting the tree. And they came exactly to the mouth of Yeshayahu the prophet. That was his fixing for saying that the children of Israel don't have a clean mouth. Can you imagine such a righteous person that sees the angels, sees the divine presence, and to fix one thing that he did, this is how he passed away. This is how we went from this world. Dear ladies, in order that we will... I know they're translating as well. In order, b'siyata dishmaya, that we will have unconditional love, which means we do not do to anybody what we don't want others to do to us. That's unconditional love. I don't want anybody to speak about my children. I won't speak about their children. On the contrary, Zamila, V'siyata dishmaya, I will daven for them and I will ask from Hashem, Bezrat Hashem, that they will be righteous and my children will be righteous. Do you understand the difference? Okay, V'siyata dishmaya, I want my children to get married. I daven for others to get married. Everything that I want for myself, I will do for others. Why? Because only the children of Israel are considered one soul. The children of Israel, all of us are one soul. Yes, we look different. We have different bodies because it's sparks of that soul that came to each and every one of us to do a fixing, and together we complete the fixing of the whole world. But one person cannot do it on its own. So that's why we are separated to sparks of holiness. I cannot finish my fixing without all of you, and you cannot finish your fixing without me. The priests, the Kohanim, cannot finish their fixing without the Levites and without Israel. The same thing for each and every one of them. So, dear ladies, how can we be good to others? How can we give a good word to others? Only when we know how to appreciate what we have and to be happy what we have. Who is rich? The one that is happy with what he has. Because if I'm not happy the way I look, if I'm not happy with the wisdom that Hashem gave me, I can't say a good word to anybody else. I'll become jealous. No. So if you are happy with whom you are, because you are a creation of God, so God does the best. He knows what he does. So, and if this is how God wanted you, short, tall, blue eyes, green eyes, black hair, doesn't matter. This is the way Hashem wanted you to be in this world, to do only a fixing. We are only visitors. Once we do this, b'siyata dishmaya, you will see, then we can be happy for others, happy for our husbands, happy for our children, because we are satisfied with what Hashem gave us. With a house that he gave us, one he gave him a castle and one he gave him a small house. We don't need more than that. We're just passengers in this world. We don't take anything with us. Everything we leave over here. On the other side, we take only the good deeds and commandments that we follow, period. Even the clothing we don't take. Only white linen on us, that's it. So dear ladies, there's nothing to be jealous of. There's nothing to be angry of. Because anger means that I'm not satisfied with what God gave me. If somebody came and told me a good word, it's a messenger from Hashem. There's no human being that will come and give me a good word or do something. If it's good or if it's not good, that Hashem didn't send him to do. Once we understand that everything is from Hashem, we just need to thank Hashem. Of all of our sorrows and all of the good things, b'siyata dishmaya, we thank Hashem for everything. It's only a test. It's like we are sitting, dear ladies, on a chair. You know, today there's you put a computer on the head of a person and he sees that he's in a war or everything happens to him, but nothing really happens. He's sitting on a chair, nothing happens. It's the same thing. We only came for a test. Our children is Hashem's children. Everything that happens to us is exactly what Hashem wants us to be in that situation. But if we recognize it and be happy and say thank you, we cause all of the judgment to soften. ממש מרככים דינים. So בסייעתא דשמיא, the whole point of being in this world is to work on our faith. Working on our faith is, once we have the faith, the test is all about now the confidence in Hashem. If I say that I believe in Hashem, I should have confidence in Him. So He gave me tests. I should have confidence that He will help me to go through the test. Because it says in chapter 91 in Tehillim, כי מלאכיו יצווה לך לשמרך בכל דרכיך, על כפיים ישאונך, פן תיגוף באבן רגליך. Which means it says in 91 in Tehillim that Hashem sends an angel to hold us when we are in these tests, in all of these sorrows. If it's sickness, if it's children, if it's a trial, doesn't matter if it's parnasa, if it's income, if it's marriages, everything that you can think about, Hashem sends an angel to hold us. Now the question is, if we have true belief, we have confidence in Hashem. So we say, thank you, Hashem. Give us the strength to pass this test. B'siyata dishma. And then when we have confidence, we come to happiness. We are in simcha. We are happy. Why? Because we know that we are in the right place that Hashem wants us to be in. And we know that we are in the hands. Look at small children. A baby is not concerned where his food is going to come from. He knows, he has confidence, his mother is going to feed him. Then a child doesn't even think how he'll have clothing, school, food on the table, everything. Why? Because he's confident his father and mother will give him everything he needs. We are the children of God. God, Hashem, is the God of the whole universe. He created the whole universe. He's inside us. So we shouldn't be concerned about anything, because everything is His, and He is everything, and everything is Him. So if we trust our Father, b'siyata dishmaya, we can be happy in this world. And then we say thank you and happiness, b'siyata dishmaya. And with this, Be'ezrat Hashem, Hashem take all of this merit of tonight, b'siyata dishmaya, all of the merit that Hashem gave us to do, Be'ezrat Hashem, and b'siyata dishmaya, it will be a zchut for Klal Israel and the whole world, Be'ezrat Hashem, that there will be peace in every home and home, and a peace upon us and Klal Israel, and peace upon us and the whole world, Be'ezrat Hashem. And we will see Mashiach with mercy, Be'ezrat Hashem, and we'll hear and see Eliyahu Navi זכור לטוב. לעולם ייפרד אדם מחברו בדבר הלכה, יחיד ברבים, הלכה כרבים. אמן, אמן. יישר כוח בנו.